Hello, and welcome to the Foods to Support Digestive Health series. I'm Amanda Lynett, one of the GI registered dietitians within the Division of Gastroenterology and Hepatology, and I'm here today to talk to you about fermented foods. Fermented foods are foods and beverages that are produced through controlled microbial growth and the conversion of food components through enzymatic action. You've likely heard of fermented foods through recent years as they've gained a lot of popularity and can be seen in the media. But did you know that fermented foods have been around for more than 10,000 years and can be seen all around the world? Globally, there is estimated to be more than 5,000 different kinds of fermented foods. Food fermentation was historically performed as a method of preservation to reduce the risk of pathogenic microorganism growth. Fermentation is also used to enhance the taste and texture of certain foods. Fermentation is a process whereby substrates are converted to alcohol, carbon dioxide, and/or organic acids using microorganisms, predominantly anaerobically. There are two main methods of fermentation. Foods can be naturally fermented, where the microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, fungi are present naturally within the food or processing environment. Examples of these would be kimchi and sauerkraut. The second method of fermentation is an addition of a starter culture, and examples of these would be sourdough bread and kefir. So fermented foods have been hypothesized to provide health benefits with antioxidant, anti-diabetic, and anti-hypertension properties. Fermentation can help optimize the absorption of certain vitamins and minerals, as well as make some foods more easily digestible. Bioactive compounds can be produced during the fermentation process and are linked to lowering blood pressure and cholesterol and improvement in metabolic syndrome. There have been several human studies investigating these potential health benefits, including the association between weight management and consumption of fermented foods like dairy products, reduction in cardiovascular disease and consumption of dairy products, and type 2 diabetes. Some fermented foods even contain probiotics, but not all. Probiotics are live microorganisms that provide a health benefit when consumed by the host. There are a growing number of studies that shows that the intake of fermented foods can positively influence the gut microbiota composition. A recent study evaluated the effects of fermented plant intake on the microbial differences in individuals compared to those not consuming fermented foods. Results showed a significant increase in the beta diversity in those consuming fermented foods compared to the control. Further studies have supported this, with results showing increased diversity in the gut microbiome in those consuming fermented foods compared to controls. Some of these studies were done on fermented dairy products, and others were done on fermented plant foods like kimchi. Polyphenols and dietary fiber in fermented foods can affect the host's gut microbiome directly. The fermentation increases the polyphenol bioavailability, which is desired due to the antioxidant properties. Short-chain fatty acid production from dietary fiber provides a more favorable environment for beneficial gut microbial growth. You can learn more about the wonderful effects of dietary fiber and short-chain fatty acids in another video within this series. Fermented milks, such as kefir and yogurt, contain phenolinic compounds that work as antioxidants to protect against oxidative damage related to chronic diseases. They also have a blood pressure lowering effect. The lactic acid bacteria used to make yogurt and kefir produces lactase, which reduces the lactose to be broken down and can be better tolerated for those with lactose intolerance, because the lactose content gets decreased with that lactase enzyme. For the GI population, there have been studies showing fermented milk products to significantly increase short-chain fatty acid, levels in vitro when given to individuals with IBS. Another example of beneficial effects is the yeast fermentation in sourdough bread, which aids in reduction of oligosaccharide activity, one of the FODMAPs, which can be better tolerated by some individuals with IBS or others undergoing a low FODMAP diet. A study on IBD found a significant increase in lactobacillus abundance following consumption of kefir for 1 month, and a study on sauerkraut intake on individuals with IBS found a decrease in GI symptoms when consuming lacto-fermented sauerkraut. So as you can see, there are a lot of good reasons to include fermented foods in your diet. Although there are a number of studies demonstrating these health benefits associated with fermented foods, there still needs to be further human-controlled studies before we can make specific recommendations and for inclusion in any worldwide dietary guidelines. Fermented foods are tolerated by most individuals, but some people do experience gas or bloating when consumed. Not all fermented foods can be treated equally, and it's best to discuss with your doctor or dietitian if you are experiencing symptoms so you guys can customize a plan to safely include these in your diet and minimize your symptoms. So what are fermented foods exactly? Many foods have undergone the fermentation process, from meats to fruits, vegetables, grains. Examples could be yogurt, kefir, miso, kimchi, kombucha, olives, beer, wine, soy sauce, sourdough bread, sauerkraut. The list goes on. Like I said, there's more than 5,000 different varieties of fermented foods worldwide. The taste and texture of these fermented foods can vary depending on the type of food. They can be enjoyed by themselves, such as eating yogurt or adding pickled vegetables to a snack board, or you could swap out milk with kefir the next time you make a smoothie, use sourdough bread when you make a sandwich, or add some tempeh to your next stir fry. It's great to try a different variety of fermented foods as they each have a unique taste, aroma, and texture. For more recipe inspiration, please check out the M Healthy website and make sure to check out the other foods to support our digestive health videos within the series. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.